Hi team, how are we doing? Welcome to episode 5, I think it is now, of the Shop Chronicles. Some progress, some not progress. So last night we got the exciting news that we were going to exchange on Thursday. Which is excellent. We're bang up for it, we're ready. As ready as you can be in coronavirus. Obviously the old twitchy bum moment starts then. And where it's exciting to the point where it's now a reality. And then we've got the disappointing news today that one of the legal people we're dealing with on their side is working from home and they don't have access to certain computers to print certain forms, which means we will not be able to complete on Thursday. So hopefully that doesn't scupper the deal, because the sellers, I think, are becoming restless. They want to get out now. So as we're learning, and as I've learned many times in my career with any kind of deal, anything that's new that you're starting with, there's the ups and then there's the downs. So last night there was the trepidation, the excitement, the build-up of bang bang, this is real, we're on. Followed by the disappointment today of finding out that actually we're not going to be able to move as quick as we'd hoped. So what we've done off the back of that news now is start to ramp up everything in earnest. The uniforms now being provisionally ordered, finalising the tills. We're going to do the opening stock order, which sounds actually quite insignificant, but as we've learned, again, the preparation that I talked about in other videos is key. It's a fuck a lot of money to open a shop.
In the age of the microchip, Arkwright's still running on steam.
Listen, you better marry me, Gladys Emmanuel, before I run out of steam.
It is what it is. We've known that from day one. But actually then the practical elements of assigning all of the money that you're spending on what, which was all theory up to now, once it becomes practical, and I'm talking as someone who's done this before, you still never overcome that kind of initial anxiety of, oh God, this is real. We're about to spend this money. There's no way back from here. But I think those moments are what sets the entrepreneurs apart. You still have that trepidation, you still have that fear, you still have that nervousness, but it's exciting. It's the buzz of something new, something of your own, something that you've created. And for me anyway, you want to, particularly as it's retail, you want to show the world. You want other people to love your idea, ultimately. In our guys, buy the products from us, be involved, get excited. And I think for me, as we get closer to the finish line now, it's ticking off all of those things that drive the success or not success on day one. What that then gets us into is the practical reality of opening the shop, because previously we were the idea was to have a certain level of management team in there, and in this environment you hear about sales going up, but you also hear some companies are struggling. So one of the debates that me and my business partner are having at the moment is, what do you do staff wise, in that we obviously have elements of day jobs going on. So the basis, certainly from my point of view, is plant yourself there, work from the office or serve in the shop, immerse myself in it, get to truly know it. Of course I'll be calling in favours from friends and family, hopefully, but actually there's all these considerations of what is the safe working environment. People need food and we're offering food. We're taking over a business that currently retails food anyway, albeit very different products. So the community still needs that outlet to buy. So, but at the same time, I'm very cognizant of I don't want to put people at risk. I don't want to put myself at risk. And obviously we're a few weeks away from the shop actually being live and open, because from here on in, what the process looks like, for those of you that don't know, is we have a sales contract. We have the tenancy agreement, which is being assigned to us from the previous owners. We have tenancy contracts being assigned to us because we're becoming landlords as well, because we have 2 flats with the property, and then there's a number of kind of legal agreements to do with land registry, taking over the rights, the bills, and then obviously the final point is then the exchange date. And the exchange date is also not to be confused with the completion date. The two can go together, which does happen a lot of the time if you're moving house, but commercially I think what we're looking at the moment is an exchange date. Exchange basically means there's no going back here without losing our money, and then about 14 days later will be the completion date, i.e. there's the keys, the money lands in their bank account rather than kind of what will be escrow, which is like a holding account, so neither party has the money, it's insured. We get the keys and then we start in earnest. Even with the disappointing news today about the delay, we're probably looking at hopefully getting the keys by the end of this month still, April, depending on when you're watching this video, so April. And then depending on how long it takes them to sell down their stock, which I think in the current climate, a positive is that I think they might well have sold stuff down quicker than was originally anticipated, and then it will take 2 to 3 weeks for us to do the shop fitting. So realistically going to be in sometime towards the back end of May, and then we'll be open sometime in June.
Lessons.
Granville, come out of there at once.
You leave him alone.
Alone? He's not alone, is he? He's got 2 friends in there with him, hasn't he?
So that's the current run rate of what we're looking like, and I think the thing for me is I obviously started doing these videos, started doing the vlogs, and there's a combination of what it looks like to open your own business alongside the hints and tips. The exciting bit for me is then actually at some point you're going to get bored of seeing the office, so it'll be nice, albeit I've obviously got to do it very carefully. I'm not going to be running around like an idiot. I don't do these videos and preach about staying in your home without then practicing what I preach. I won't be going to the shop as regularly. I'll just let the shop fitters in and come home. But it'd be nice to show you the premises that we're taking on, what it looks like at this point now, today, versus what it will look like by the time we finished with it. And in those few weeks, the difference between then, me and my business partner have to work out the safest way for us, our families, our friends, the customers of the shop to buy their much needed goods and produce without putting anyone on unnecessary risk. And little things like we want to get sanitisers, gloves in place for every customer that comes into the shop, because although that's not working practice in other shops, we are essentially a shop that's community driven for the community from someone that's in the community. And I want to make every effort that we can to make the experience as kind of safe, as quick and as in and out as possible, but get you the food that is much needed, because as the supply chains improve, everybody knows, we've all been to a supermarket and seen that you're not getting the choice of product that you'd normally want. So it'll all be new to us, and I'm sure there'll be huge supply challenges. Don't underestimate that for a minute. But yeah, I'm confident that we're going to do a good job. So I thought I'd kick off episode 5. I've been holding off doing it because even I'm bored of hearing me sat in the office trying to move the business forward. Yes, we're talking to suppliers. Yes, there's lots of legal conversations, but there comes a point where it's not that interesting to watch. So I'm hoping now over the next 7 days, in earnest, it should really start to ramp up. And it become real as we start to place orders for thousands and thousands of pounds on coffee machines, juicers, tills, uniform, opening stock. That money that we've worked hard to accumulate over the next 4 or 5 weeks will dissipate into very little and leave a small amount of working capital. So that's it for episode 5, really. What I will notionally mention is that as the channel started to develop, obviously there aren't a huge amount of viewers, but we're getting there. Thank you, team, for sticking with me. I appreciate it. And if you could recommend it to anyone else, I'd be eternally grateful to you. Appreciate you staying with me this far. Please like, please subscribe, stay with the channel. I always say it, and hopefully over time people will start to. Please comment, please talk about what I'm talking about in the videos. Ask me if there's things you want to know, or if there's an angle you'd like me to come at, or if there's a question you'd like answering and you think I might be able to. So yeah, please stay with me on the journey. It's wicked having you. Really appreciate it, team, and I'll see you in the next one. But before I go, as always, socially distance, wash your hands, don't be a dickhead, you're not above the law, stay in your house, and I'll see you next time. Thanks guys, bye bye.